Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's feels like a little while since we've been back on a Sunday. We are here for the AK Racing Classic V8 Supercars here on Sensational TV. I am Chris Munro, and my co-commentator over there under the lid used to be Zach O'Reilly, but I think we've got the Stig in the house tonight. So Stig, I don't know if you can speak, whereas when it comes down to the legalities of stuff, but let's see if we can get some of that warm vocal juice coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, g'day mate, how you going? It's good to be here. Loving every second of it, and can't wait to be there for the Naughties tonight. It's going to be an absolute rip snorter, I tell you what. And when it comes to circulating around Eastern Creek, I tell you, I've got the lap record around here in a 1987 Cortina. It's good.
You can drive the wheels off anything, can the Stig. So looking forward to his insights later on in the broadcast. But I tell you what, we've got about 30-odd cars out there on track at the moment, and it is looking absolutely fantastic. These cars, if you're of our age, of the golden era of time, born in the 80s or even beyond that, you'll remember these cars, and you still see a few of them out there on the road. Actually saw a VS Commodore today, the Stig. So it was looking a little bit worse for wear. Not as good as some of these liveries out there tonight.
The liveries, mate, it's all about the driver quality, and we're loving every moment of this sort of stuff tonight. It's going to be an absolute belter. And when it comes to being around here, I've given Michael Schumacher a run. And I'll tell you what, he's got nothing on the old boy, that's for sure. The 90 V8 Supercars sound really, really good. And no ABS, no traction control, nobody this and that and whatever you want. It's all driving pleasure, I'll tell you that.
Sheer driving pleasure, as they say. Tonight, we are geared up, ladies and gentlemen. We've got, I think we've got a 12-minute qualifying session coming up very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. That is followed by three 50-kilometre races. So, that will be short and sweet. I think that works out to about 13 laps apiece here at Eastern Creek Raceway. It is called Eastern Creek because we are travelling back in time, ladies and gentlemen, back to the classic era of V8 Supercars. So we've got the three 50k races here, and that will be, there'll be no reverse grids, no trickery like that. It's all just starting positions from your finishing position. So consistency is the game tonight, the Stig.
I don't know what's going to happen with everyone involved. It's going to be interesting, but nothing on the hot lap specials, that's for sure. And when I come around here at Eastern Creek, I can't race for shit, but I'll give you a good qualifying call, so I might join in there for the qualifying session. Thank you very much, Christopher.
No worries, mate. We will get down trackside now currently, and we'll go and follow along with a few of these drivers. We've got Dean Hanley on the screen at the moment. He gets involved in the current day V8 Supercars series here at 8K Racing. Certainly one of the speedier customers with the SDT signage on the side there. Keep an eye out for them around the place. Simulator Driver Training.com. Give them a look there on Facebook. See what they do. We've got the boss watching on as well. The Safe Driver Training Centre is what it is, SDT. Watching along keenly, so hopefully the boys out there can do a pretty good job. Where's Dean Verrill? Here he is in the Rangiart car. Geez, these Rangiart cars are taking over the server at the moment. Gee whiz.
Yeah, look, they're pretty good, these. I'm back, don't you worry about that. The Stig has gone down trackside, so he'll be around somewhere. His voice has just completely surprised me there. I would have expected some sort of young, burly tone. But anyway, the Rangiart boys are coming, and they're coming quick, I'll tell you what, and that's what their missus tell them as well. It's good to see all the Rangiart boys have a good crack tonight, and we'll probably be a little bit confused as to what they are, but the number plates, Chris, are the giveaways. They've all got the old number plates on the rear bumper to tell us who exactly they are. So it's good to have them. And I tell you what, that's a really cool looking Cooper's livery there. That is taking you back some decades with that colour scheme there for the Bananarama himself. looking very, very fresh there in the brewery, and I'm loving all of them. They sound even better too, ladies and gentlemen. Wow,
Oh, look at this.
Look at the fair dinkum department. He has got the absolute approval there from us here at Sensational TV, because we own Ray Rabsborough now. He doesn't know it, but we own him. And it's good to have him on there. Hell yeah. All the spoof liveries that you can appreciate there is on the Banana Ramas car. It's good to see.
Great stuff. We should go through some of these cars we've got. We've got Jake Buddick out there driving the, I believe that's the VX Commodore. Back from the early days. There's a couple of little eras of cars here. We've got David Thornton up next in the, EL Falcon, just smashing it into the tyre barrier there as well. See if we can find someone in the, there it is again. A classic vehicle, but my favourite of all, where I can find it here, the AU Falcon. You can't spell beautiful without AU. That's the go.
Oh, here we go. Have a look at the front end of that thing. Looks like a bloody eye of a bee if you look at it under a microscope, but it looks pretty good. I don't mind the AUs. And that's also a nice livery there from Hughesy. Geelong Automatics just doing their best around here too. And with the ELs, the VSs, the VX, which I'm not sure if it's a VX because I can't see the headlights or not. It might be a VT front end because the VX had a different front end on them. But it doesn't matter. They're all from that era. And wowee, do they look good. Speaking of looking good too, the green and black, Chris is all over the green. Anything with green in it, he is there. Autodesk for Nathan Higginson too, doing his best modelling on and off the circuit. It's good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Gearhead in the chat. Thank you for the super chat as well and the donation. Thank you very much, Gearhead. What's the track name? This is Eastern Creek, mate. This is currently called Sydney Motorsport Park, but because we're taking the trip down memory lane, we're going to call it what it used to be called when these cars were racing the track, and that is called Eastern Creek. But I think without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we might get geared up for a bit of qualifying action. What do you think about that, Zach O'Reilly?
Done. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boyos, girlos, let's go racing and get into qualifying.
Absolutely. We will be back in just a few moments once we get this server ticked over and these drivers all geared up and ready to set their hot laps. So go and charge your drinks up and get settled in for some qualifying action as Higginson slaps the wall as hard as you want. Gee whiz, he's absolutely lost it there. What a better segue to get the hell out of here.
Windscreen wipers on too.
Let's go qualifying. Welcome to qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Just waiting for the rest of the drivers to enter the server. Usually these qualifying sessions start from the 12-minute mark, but Brandon Pierce is out there taking the absolute P155. He's pierced off down the pit lane, and he's starting his outlap early. So why not? Let's let everyone go out and have a good old time. So Brandon Pierce is technically first man out on track tonight. So once he passes the start-finish line, we're going to get a flying lap of Eastern Creek here on board the EL Falcon of the Pierceometer. The number 15 there, Monster Energy livery. It's just coming into the third sector now. Tricky little part of the track, but it looks like everyone is joining the server at a steady rate. With 25 in at the moment, or maybe a little bit more because my timing tower only supports 25 drivers at a time. Brandon Pierce rounding the final turn, and he will head off down the straight. Let's get a look at these onboard cameras. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. What a view out the front window there for a flying lap of Eastern Creek.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, rounding our way into turn one. Beautiful turn in there from Brandon Pierce, just hugs that apex beautifully. Just going to get on that right on the edge of the ripple strip here. Turn two, brake at the 120-metre board, straight in. And we will be early apex or late apexing, depending on the driver. Brandon is late apexing that one. It's into third gear now. Feather that throttle for the right-hander coming up the hill, and just into fourth gear as we go. The car's getting out of the way nicely. Beautiful to see. It's good to see all this sort of stuff. And when we see Brandon Pierce tug that apex, that's going to be the optimal line here for the right-hander. Left-hander, very tricky to get this right. Use all the inside of the ripple strip. Do not go over those yellow lines there, else you will get a track cut and your lap is invalidated. Heavy braking as you dip over the ledge there into the left-hander. Beautiful driving here from Brandon Pierce. Just cool, calm, collected. As cold as an Eskimo's tool at the moment is Brandon Pierce on the wheel. Third gear, on the dance at the moment with the oversteer, just into fourth. Bags it down into first gear. We'll see here. Darts the car in. Oh, he's lost it there a little bit on the apex. Just he lost about 3 or 4 tenths there. That's not going to hamper him too much on the exit, but mid-corner will kill him. Fourth gear, fifth gear as we're approaching the very, very tricky final section here of Eastern Creek. Dance over that ripple strip on the inside. Get it all sort of pointed in nicely. Over those 2 lines. I think that's going to be maybe invalidated there. We'll find out once he crosses the line. But a second gear exit into third. Short shift into fourth as well as we get there. 180 Ks, 190, 200 approaching now, ladies and gentlemen, as we go down the hill here for the final straight here at Eastern Creek. And as Brandon Pierce has been eliminated, yes, he has. He did not get a lap in.
No, he must have gone outside the track lines at some point on the track, but the man who has set a flying lap is Clint Goff there in the number 23, missing a livery on my end.
But the artist.
We'll get that figured out. Yeah, the Van Gogh, however you want to pronounce it. He'll be wanting to Van Gogh as fast as he can around this circuit. I'll give you the hot tip about that. But look at that, Alan Nielsen up there in the proverbial front row here of the grid so far. Still plenty of qualifying to go. So he does get eclipsed here. Dean Hanley goes to the top and is swiftly overtaken by David Thornton, who from experience is one of the speedier customers out here tonight, so keep an eye on him in the number 16. We'll go on board with him as well. We'll follow him around this lap with the Orcon still. He's not going to be setting a time out braking himself into turn 2 like that, so he's going to have to go around and rethink his entire life before he sets another hot lap in this server.
He'll be right. I'm sure he'll come back bouncing with Will David Thornton. So it's good to see him back in an AK Racing liveried car at the moment. Buttigieg, however, it was quick. He was third quickest in the practice session that we just saw as well. So he will be up there for, at some point if he can get a lap together. He just keeps it inside those yellow lines there now, which is good to see. For Buttigieg, getting onto the throttle early is the key out of that corner because it gives you a lot of speed down this front straightaway, which is downhill. So if you lose it, you're losing even more momentum. You've lost exit and downhill, and he's gone across the line here for third place with a 1:31.015. Cracking driving there, 8:15, sorry, at the moment for Buttigieg. So we'll see those times tumble. Nathan Hughes, however, Chris, was one to look out for. He was doing 1:31.4s in the practice service, so we've got to look out for him, and I'm sure Heather will tune in at some stage here tonight. Going to be exciting racing here and close as a VX Commodore was just rotated around the wrong way there at turn 2.
Yeah, very easy to do in these cars. As we said in the pre-game show, no ABS, no traction control either. Although, geez, there he goes. Just proving the point that these cars are on a knife edge at the best of times, and Nathan Hughes just proving that to me. Dipping one wheel off, that's all it took, ladies and gentlemen, and that torque just oversteered the arse around on that AU Falcon, and he will have to go around once more, but still plenty of time on the clock. In the meantime, though, Brian's cousin has just set the fastest lap in the server with a 1:31.5. That's pretty quick, ladies and gentlemen. If he can just start tipping away at that, or chipping away, should I say, at that time, he could go a long way towards putting himself on pole position for the races coming up.
Yeah, he will do. He'll do some good stuff there. I'm not sure why his livery is in a Ford Credit. He is running around in a Rangout livery as well. The old server doing its best job just to trick us all, but Brian's cousin doing well. And also, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the only stream of the night here. We've got Cranium Cam. It's back. Oh. Wednesday Cup style. It's on. It's live at the moment. In the chat here, if you are a subscriber. And if you aren't, get a subscription on. We're on the road to 700 and we're only 6 away. As well, so hit that like, hit that subscribe button too. But Cranium Cam is on our other channel here at Sensational TV. Comment in the chat here on the live stream and for a drive request on who you want to see on board dancing around here at Eastern Creek. It's going to be awesome for the race start to give you the hot tip. So get on board there at Cranium Cam too. We appreciate all of your support. for this stream here tonight.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. The link for CRANIUM Cam you will find down in the description below, so you can have that up in another window and just line them up and have a bit of a multicam going on. A Sky viewers only experience there for all the sensational fans out there in the house. But we're about halfway through qualifying now, and we see a big stream of cars coming through the pit lane. One man coming out on his outlap at the moment is Curtis Egmanis. That is a name I have not heard for quite some time in the sim racing world. We used to go toe-to-toe back a very long time ago when I first started sim racing.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely, in the V8 Supercars in another league back what seems like a lifetime ago. But he was certainly a speedier customer back then as well, so keep an eye on him during the races. I reckon he'll be up there fighting for at least a top 5. So keep one eye on him. Who else we got in the server tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Let's have a look down the order here. Mr. Verrill is
there.
back
He
after
is.
being robbed in the Wednesday Cup. Hope he's got taken that out of his memory and is just starting on a clean slate here tonight in the AU Falcon. He's down the order a little bit. What can he do here across the line? That's just that's an improvement. A 132.5 goes up into 11th position.
Yeah, look out. The times are getting tight here as well, ladies and gentlemen. 131.4. All the 31s are all the way from 1st to 7th, so very, very close. Only half a second between them. And then a stream of 132s as well. A second only between 8th all the way down to 15th. So the mid-pack and the front pack are going to be very, very close here as well. And as we've seen, in racing, anything can happen. So they might qualify well, but how is their racecraft? Who can avoid the incidents? Who can not get caught up in them? Yeah. We just don't know. And Verrill knows exactly what it is like to be caught up in an absolute puntosaurus from himself. The poor bastard. I'll tell you what, that was not the ideal way to start his Wednesday Cup campaign, but he'll be back. That AU Falcon looks sensational there in the Rangi Out Falcon, that's for sure. And does the VX Commodore. That's definitely my vehicle of choice in these 90s as well. And we might have some special onboard race commentary from yours truly at some stage in this series for one race when we see just how difficult it is to drive these cars. And speaking of difficult, James Pedersen in 21st place doing 133s. He's got about 2 seconds actually between himself and pole position. But he's only going to get quicker as the night goes on, that's for sure.
Gearhead in the chat says he can't seem to get the link to the CRANIUM Cam. Could you put one on for Grant? Okay, well, I'll try and relink that into the chat, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm pretty sure it was the correct link, but we'll get that sorted out for you now.
I'll put one in there for you as we speak.
One in there, even better.
Don't you worry about that.
That makes my job and life easier. Lachlan Grant, in the meantime, has hit the magic number of 131.4. With 4 minutes to go. That's pretty quick, ladies and gentlemen. Only a few tenths covering, or only 2 tenths covering the top 4. Add in Nathan Hughes as well for the top 5. That is quick. Lucas Newing up there as well. Spewing Newing's back. Keep an eye on him. There you go. There's the link for you there in the chat, Mr. Gearhead. Good to have you on board and go and check that out. Lockie Grant, however, is on a purple lap here. He is almost a 10th up in the first sector. You can see down in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, there is a predicted time at the bottom. It's standing currently at a 131.3. He's just lost a bit of time there, coming into the hairpin, but now it's just made it up a little bit more. But geez, it's teetering on the edge of an improvement. Can he knock David Thornton, who has gone to 131.2 in the meantime? Geez, that's a quick time, ladies and gentlemen. Goes bang. Poor old Lockie Grant's going to really have to improve over the next couple of turns, and there's only this one to go. Really needs to work that steering wheel, get that pedal down to the metal. He's not going to do it on this lap. It might be an improvement, but it's not going to be enough to get him on pole position. That is occupied by David Thornton.
Yeah, look out as he crosses the line. It's not going to be an improvement, but I'll tell you what, speaking of close, Christopher Munro, it is only a bee's foreskin between Egmanis and Buttigieg at the moment. 8 1,000ths of a second between Egmanis, I'm just going to call him the egg, between the egg and the corporal. And those two are very, very close. And only half a tenth between Buttigieg and Merv Hughes Lovechild there in 6 as well. Look out. It's all getting close. And then Andre Elliott too. Not even 0.03 of a second between them as well. Wowee. It's all timing. Timing is just absolutely perfect here. We have got 2 minutes and 8 seconds left here in qualifying, and it is getting very close. Buttigieg goes into 4th, just takes a place off Egmanis there. 1:31.557. Very, very classical sort of stuff there from the main man himself, leading the Rangiart boys at this point in time. If you want to get on board in Cranium Cam, please comment on who you want to see here, because we're flicking through all of the drivers as well as we go around here just to see how they tick here at Eastern Creek. And I tell you what, looks like Lachlan Grant at the moment is just about to start a hot lap at some stage. Where will that time come down with? 1:35 left here in qualifying? Who bloody knows? Geez, that's a good-looking car.
It is, certainly is. He's got the theme sorted over pretty much all the series that he competes in the Mobil 1 livery. So this will be his last bite of the cherry, ladies and gentlemen, because the next time he crosses the start-finish line, or the one after this time, will be the last time. So he's got one more chance, ladies and gentlemen, to get himself onto pole position. Jesus Christ, he's got about 4/10 to make up, as David Thornton has improved again to a 1:31 dead. Get out of town, ladies and gents. He is here to party. Don't you worry about that. The Thorn Man is on pole, and by a big margin. 4/10 is huge. Can Lachlan Grant knock him off? Can anybody else knock him off? Andre Elliott puts himself up there on the front row. So, geez, that's huge stuff for the Rangiart team at this point in time.
Yeah, look out, it's all happening. 40 seconds left here in qualifying. What has Lachlan Grant got? And he's already up. He is up 10th at the first sector on the PB. So look out for this man. Excuse me, he is about to absolutely blitz David Thornton. If he can get it all pulled up nicely and that lap traffic in front of him does not hamper him. Just apexes nicely there, looking on board here through the Larry bar. Holy mackerel, that thing is dead set in the way. Lachlan Grant, where's he going to come up for? The second sector timing delta here. We'll find out in just a hot second. Oh, he's a best. He's up on his personal best, but it's not going to be enough at the moment. He's going to slot into second. He's still got to find at least 2 minutes, a bit tense here to get on top of David Thornton. Not to take anything away from him. I did a 1:30.7, so that's not as quick as I would be. But Lachlan Grant here having a good crack. Oh, he's just gone outside the lines. I don't know if this is going to count. This could be a track cut here, and I think he's just going to give up, but maybe he'll see where his pace is just to be determined. Qualifying is over. Thornton is on provisional pole. Andre Elliott secured second, and he's pulled into the pits, so that's it. It's all over. McFadden in 4th place. Wow, good driving from him. Buttigieg into the pits now too. What are we going to see? Is Hughesy going to make a move here? I'm not sure. He's done. He's also into the pits too. Look out. Have we got anyone else here on a flyer? Can Dean Hanley get up the field here? He's in 9th at the moment. Has he got some pace? He's 3 and a bit tense down. Maybe a last-minute dive and a mistake sort of could have got him up in the delta. We'll see what happens here as he rounds the hairpin here at the bottom of Eastern Creek. Has he made up any time? No, he has not. So he's gone even further down. It's going to take a miracle for Hanley to get any further up than 9th, but that looks like qualifying is over with only 4 or 5 cars left here on the track, Christopher Munro.
Yeah, I don't think he can improve here. He's about, he's blown out to about a second now around the final corner of this circuit. Zach Scowen still on a flyer. He's just had to, he just got balked a little bit by that car that was just sitting off the track. But we'll see what he does coming down the,
he's pulling in.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading into the pits as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is qualifying. David Thornton is your man. Let's get a closer look at this vehicle, if we can. There we go. There we go. The Orcon Steel number 16. Very nice livery there from David Thornton. Who drove that? Frosty, was it? I don't know. Someone correct me in the chat when that car was going around in the real world. But congratulations on David Thornton taking the first pole position of the series. Ladies and gentlemen, take your hats off. A 1:31 dead. That's fast, man. 3.5 tenths behind is Andre Elliott, who pops himself up there on the front row. Lachlan Grant and McFadden will follow those two, with Buttigieg Hughes off the next row. Agmanis and Newing the next two out, with Pierce and Dean Hanley making out your top 10. We got Nielsen, Verrill, Shipley, Scowen, Goff, Bullock, Banachek, Higginson, Nielsen, Marshall rounding out your top 20, with Cook, Peterson, O'Brien, Dion Clerk, William Bullock, Snooks, and Braden Moore, and poor old Toby Spawner down there in the lonely 1:35s. I think Linkvist was in the server, but did not manage to post a lap time there. So let's hope he can get around the track in one piece when we start to when the green light happens here in race 1.
Yeah, the basketball there in 28th, he'll be wanting to get a bit further up the grid than 135s, that's for sure. And our American compatriot, or Canadian, God, I hope I got either one. He's racing all the way from over there, is Nate. So good to see him out there. And geez Louise, have a look at Sydney Motorsport Park. Doesn't it look as crisp as ever on the Munro machine? This machine here can I reckon it can communicate to aliens from 4,000 light years away. Is this thing running smooth as a baby's bum, as I would say. But nonetheless, that's qualifying all done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Race 1 is coming your way. We have 3 50-kilometre races coming your way, and that will be insane. They're about 13 or 14 laps each, depending on the pace of the front runners. So stick around for race 1 out of 3 coming away here at Sensational TV. Go and refill those condiments. Get everyone spiced up and viewed up. They've got CRANIUM Cam. We've got the mainstream here as well, all ready to go. Just get involved here at Sensational TV, and we'll be back for 90s race 1 in just a hot second.
And we're back on track, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a little bit of a technical difficulty there in the background, and we're still getting that sorted as well for the CRANIUM Cam. Anyone watching along, that will be sorted out soon enough. But as we stand, David Thornton off the front row with Andre Elliott just on his outside. The lights are up, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to go racing. Can we have a clean turn 1? That is the message on everyone's lips. The answer to that will be shortly found out. There's someone just jumped the start down there, number 37. I don't know who that was. Andre Elliott, I think. No, that's crazy stuff. But they're going to go 4 wide here. David Thornton's got an absolutely shit start there. Andre Elliott going around the outside. Thank you very much. He will take the lead into turn 1. David Thornton just sits behind him there with that, who's that? McFadden and Grant right up the inside. David Thornton outbraking himself and losing a few positions as well. That is not ideal for him. He's now just sort of stuck in a little bit of a pocket back there with Curtis Egmanis on his outside. Nathan Hughes just searching for a way up here. They're going side by side down into turn 5. Turn 4, should I say, turn 5 now. They're still just trying to sort out their positions as butting up the inside of Hughes. This is some really nice racing here from these guys as well, keeping it nice and clean. I haven't seen anyone spat off yet. There's some movers and shakers up the back here. That's, who's that up the inside there? Higginson in the Autodesk green and black AU Falcon. Very nicely done there as everyone's still sorting out their positions back here a little bit further. Jesse Marshall and Banachek going side by side down into the hairpin, giving each other plenty of room as well. They'll go side by side here into the hairpin, but it looks like Banachek's got the better of it as it stands. Who gets on the power first? It's Banachek, but they've still got a bit of an overlap there. Whoa, just squeezes in front. Jesse Marshall dropped down to 18th position. But up the front, it is Andre Elliott leads the field around the final turn. Jason McFadden sitting in tow with Lachlan Grant just behind him. David Thornton has dropped from pole position down to 4th, so he's got a little bit of work to do if he wants to make it back to where he was at the start of this race. Curtis Agmanis just sitting there in the top 5, as I predicted as well. Geez, the super coach is on fire here today. Nathan Hughes out there in 6th in the AU Falcon. Jake Buttigieg there just giving a little bit of a pressure to him as well. David Thornton dropping down a position as well, just not getting his eye in here early in this race. Losing positions like, I lose my keys over the space of a week. It all just happens there. But who's that in the background? Jake Buttigieg getting hounded by Dean Hanley in the SDT car with Brandon Pierce out there in 9th position. So there seems to be 2 little battle packs starting to form. It's your top 10 and then a little bit of a gap back to Dean Verrill, who's in the kind of no man's land there with, who's that? Cooper Shipley there in the number 86 getting hounded by Ryan Nielsen on the outside, and Nathan Higginson will ride on board with Higginson and see what he can see. Not much with that Larry bar in the way, so we'll go on top of the bonnet there. That's a better shot. Look at all those hot air balloons in the background. We'll check in with our co-commentator Zach O'Reilly and see how the technical issues are happening over on that side of the wall. We're all back online.
We're online, just cannot see what you are calling, my friend, so please get me on the Discord live, and I will be there right as you speak. CRANIUM cam is back up, ladies and gentlemen, and what a sensational looking camera that is. I'll give you the hot tip between everyone, but as I just heard there, it's all happening. Doesn't matter where you look, it is dead set in the fair dinkum department, all happening for everyone on stream at this point in time. Wow, what an opening lap. Very, very clean stuff there from most of them, to be honest. Zach Scowan's just doing fantastically, sitting there in 14th. He'll get back up the pre. And McFadden and Elliott, the two Rangyard boys, have had a change there for the lead. Oh boy, what are we seeing between these two? I'll tell you what, McFadden's just galloped off down into the distance there and said, thank you, I'll take it. Half a second within a corner and a bit. And right behind Andre Elliott is Lachlan Grant, as we can see there. We'll jump on board with that camera and also CRANIUM cam to see what Lachlan Grant's doing. Oh, there's a good line there from Andre Elliott. He's just coming under pressure here. And at the moment, Lachlan Grant's going to take that position off him. Under braking is the HRT Mobile 1 livery there for Lachlan Grant. He's got a beautiful run there out of everyone. And there's a bit of a cork in the bottle situation there too. Thornton's gone down from 4th to 5th because Igbanus has overtaken him too. That white VX Commodore in front of him looking very, very bright. What can happen between all of these drivers? We've got Buttigieg, Hughes, Thornton, Igbanus, Elliott, Grant and McFadden all there. We've already got lap traffic. My goodness gracious me. The chef is having an absolute nightmare. Gordon Ramsay in 25th there will be absolutely livid with his performance at the moment there with the chef. But nonetheless, up here at the front, look, we've got 6-7 cars here, only separated by 3 tenths exactly each. Wowee. If you can't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is as close as it gets from motorsport here in the virtual world. Wowee. Buttigieg is just going to watch and hopeful that he can get in between any of the drama with 1 move, 2 moves, 3 moves under braking between a lot of them, and he can prosper and just take that lead away from anyone in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Going up to Nathan Hughes here, who's just sort of sitting on the back of this little battle pack. We're going to see what he can see. Just almost up the arse of David Thornton there, who's giving who's that in front? Curtis Ekmanis, plenty of curry through turn 1 and 2. Oh, sorry, 2 and 3, should I say. 4 and into dipping into 4 here. This is close stuff here at the front. Here goes Hughes, just a little bit deep for my liking, out there, right out on the curbing between these two little S's, and you can see that's just hurt his momentum up the hill. There's another car off the track there in the HRT livery. I don't know who that is. Someone beyond 25th. There's a fair few cars out here on the track tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But the thing that we've got here, this little battle here between Thornton and Ekmanis is only going to spice up, because I think David Thornton, I've heard around the traps, he's a bit of a hothead, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I do know it's true. I used to be his teammate back in the V8 days. He's as hot as head as they come, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a bushfire on top of his bloody helmet, but here he goes. He's giving him plenty of curry. We're going to ride on board here and see what sort of pressure he can put these two cars under, because he will be heated up.
Andre Elliott.
Andre Elliott just going well wide, and he's just a sitting duck at the moment. There goes Ekmanis, and here goes Thornton. He's going to want to try and get this job done before turn 1. Just pulls up alongside now and diving it down into turn 1. Very hard move to make, because you leave yourself vulnerable on the exit, and Andre Elliott knows it, but there's not much he can do about it. David Thornton goes across to cover and does that nicely, keeps it on the road, and that's a position for Ekmanis and Thornton.
Well, look out, I'll tell you what, the guy with a CRANIUM as hot as a crematorium at the moment, David Thornton, making moves there underneath everyone. And Nathan Hughes, he's just sitting back and watching this at the moment come to fruition, but he's got to be careful, because Buttigieg and Pierce. Now, Brandon Pierce, the magician, hello, welcome to the chat, Brandon Pierce. He is in this battle now too. Look at that EL Falcon, the blue and white liveried split two-tone, looking very, very nice there for an EL. That's full retro sort of stuff. Yeah, it's good things. We've got a lot of fans in the chat. We've got Maltesers. We've got the reverse grid question. I don't think we've got a reverse grid tonight there, but we might make it happen for the last race. Who knows? Could be something to come to fruition later on. But Brandon Pierce doing very, very well. And I'll tell you what, those guys in front are very, very on song, as is Will Bullock. That is Gran Turismo's only ever V8 supercar right there, ladies and gentlemen. AU2 Falcon, Ford credit livery, ready to go. And Will Bullock, Sandra's second love child there, doing well. Spewy Newing is definitely got 4 or 5 buckets here at the moment. Absolutely full of the regurgitated and digested stuff inside our human bodies there, because he's in 21st place and hating life at the moment, is spewing. He will be dead set doing that, and he's got Snooks in front of him, the man, the myth, the legend in front of him of the 90s V8s. But Pearso now having a dead set good look there underneath Jake Buttigieg, just trying to get it done at turn one, couldn't get it underneath. Is Buttigieg going to go defensive? Brendan Pearce just sowing the nose there, just showing a little bit of aggression there from Pearso. Nothing to win, nothing to lose here for Brendan Pearce, but he's going to go all toe, hammer and thong for Buttigieg's position in 7th if he can get it done, because these positions here, ladies and gentlemen, will set the grid up for the next race. It's going to be exciting, and he's looking very, very racy against the newer generation V8 Supercar, the VX in front of him against Buttigieg. Wowee, could the EL be one of the OP cars? These cars are nearly balanced performance. Oh, Elliott's just even going further down the grid in front. Look out for that. Buttigieg's gone underneath and said, thank you, I'll take that position too. And then, Pearso and Elliott have got together. Oh, geez, that's dead set sad to see. I'll tell you what, both of them are having a cracking battle up until that point. Andre Elliott, our second place getter for qualifying, all the way down in 10th with over half the race to go. And we've got Maury in the chat going, go Pearso as well. Well, he's up there, that's for sure. Look out.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward there, that overtake for Pearce. He kind of just dove in, maybe unannounced, and making contact there with Andre Elliott. I'm not going to make any decisions on that. We're going to leave that one for Mr. Stewart.
It was Ian Thorpe style.
Yeah, really just diving in head first. Very ambitious stuff there from Mr. Pearce, but he gets the job done so far on track. Anyway, no harm, no foul. Well, at least if you're not Andre Elliott, but that's one for the stewards, ladies and gentlemen. And it was Luke Newing, ladies and gents, that did end up copying the drive-through there for the false start. We saw that just off the line. I wasn't too sure who it was, but looking at that livery, there he is, the number 37 on the front. It's actually number 2 on the timing tower, which threw me a bit. But poor old spewing Newing has just couldn't have got a worse start here in the classic V8 Supercars series. But this little battle here, it's been heating up for the last couple of laps, and now he finds himself under the rear wing of Curtis Egg-Manis. That is David Thornton here, the number 16. We can go right on board and see how close it is. Very close indeed. You could almost, if you were, what's his name? The guy, I've forgotten the action name. Jackie Chan. If you're Jackie Chan, you could jump that gap. No worries between these two cars and make some sort of film about it.
Yeah, well, comments from the Supercoach. Yeah. Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, you name it, Jet Li as well, they're all happening. But I'll tell you what, the angry Cranium himself, the hot Cranium, David Thornton doing well. And poor old Ryan Nielsen in the Haviland Falcon, just off there in the bunda. And his brother has overtaken him for 16th. Oh, no, sorry, that is 18th and 19th. And now Clerk is going to have a go here. Well, the clerk of the course is dead set, having a crack here, trying to get on board over and around the outside of Nielsen here. That is hairy stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, a bit of overlap too from the chopper cam. Absolutely showed us exactly how close they were there. Final turn here at the moment for the both of them. Clark and Nielsen having an absolute drag race down the front straightaway. Oh, they're even weaving between each other, giving each other something to think about. This is classic 90s stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Right up against each other. Who's going to get the whole shot here? Nielsen's backed out of it and said, you can have it, Sir Clark. That's for sure. I reckon Michael Clark at the moment wouldn't have let that one go through to the keeper, and dead set drove that through the covers, did Clark, and said, thank you, I'll take that one, as we saw a car come out of the pits there as well. That's poor old Andre Elliott. Wowee. Had he stuffed it up, or did he not put enough fuel in the car?
Drive-through.
Was he given a drive-through penalty for jump starting? Oh my goodness gracious me.
Cutting the track. Yeah.
Cutting the track.
Yep.
Turned it up, ladies and gentlemen. The poor bastard. He'll be starting dead set in 20th if he can't get up the grid and get on the back of Spewy Newing at some stage for race 2. Dean Ward, however, Verrill, sorry, is getting right on the arse end here of Hanley. The two Deans, D1 and D2, having a good cracking battle here. AU versus AU. Ooh, this is going to be spicy stuff. SDT versus Rangyard. Who's got the driver training excellence here at the moment? It looks like Verrill's got the whole shot here out of the hairpin. Now, who's going to get the whole shot onto the front straight away at the moment? Just tries to underbrake at the moment and get that slingshot effect. That's for sure. Poor old Jesse Marshall's having a dead set barnstormer of an internet night. Or barnstormer, dead set, not even that. The complete opposite of a barnstormer. DNF'd already. Barry goddamn Crocker at the moment. And the Dino in front, has got in front. Hanley versus Verrill, and it's advantage Hanley.
Yep, still in the hands of Mr. Hanley as well. These guys, I think, Rangiat, at least Rangiat adjacent drivers. There's a fair few of them. It's very hard to keep track of how many Rangiat drivers we've got in the circuit or in the server at any one time. But here's a little battle forming down the back here. It's Nathan Higginson and Zach Gowan being joined as well by James Bullock, who we've seen, who's just coming better and better in the Wednesday Cup Series, but he's in the best-looking AU Falcon the world's ever seen. The Green-Eyed Monster. How good is that? The 00 of James Bullock. Looks like Toby Spalding has now copped himself a drive-through for speeding as well, so he compounds injuries there. He's gone through the pits once, sped into the pits, and now he has to go through again, so that's not ideal for him. This I am keeping one eye on the battle up front between Thornton and McManus.
They've just pitted each other. Thornton has pitted McManus, the poor old egg is cracked, and now they're going to redress that, as Dave Thornton should do, and he's doing it very, very well at the moment. McManus just sitting there, trying to make amends and trying to get on track, as you said, Chris.
No.
Look out, that is disaster, and Thornton's just gone, oh, bugger that, son, I'm off the road now. He's given up the ghost for about 400 metres to Thornton and just thought, nah, I'll keep going on with that. Oh, that could be spicy stuff there for poor old D. Thornton. We'll see what the stewards have to say about that. But at the moment, look out, poor bastard. And it's just a disaster as well for
disaster. Those guys were at it for about 10 laps, ladies and gents. Just heart goes out to McManus, who was on debut here at AK Racing. So he was on track for a podium position there, really feeling the pressure of Thornton just turning on the blowtorch behind. But we just missed out what actually happened. Luckily, our co-commentator saw the whole thing, and they've come together, and both of them down the back of the field now. Where is Mr. Thornton? He's managed to get back out on track in 8th, so that's positive for him, but I think there might be some answers or a little bit of an asterisk next to that 8th position at the moment. Looking up the order, Dean Verrill is still behind Dean Hanley. These two, the couple of Deans just getting stuck right down into the hairpin.
Oh, look at this. Have a crack at them. They're both side by side at some stage trying to get on board with each other. And I'll tell you what, the Dean versus Dean battle here is absolutely sensational. We've got two craniums with the same name. Who's got the higher racing IQ out of both of them? It looks like they're both neck and neck. Verrill got off to a great start in that final sector there, and he's just keeping on the back end. He's not going to want to overshoot any of these apexes at the moment because he's got the perfect situation coming right up now. If he can nail this exit down the front straightaway, he will get a hell of a suck down the front straight. The Western Sydney or Eastern Sydney girls here at the moment giving some dead set suckage lessons at the moment. Can he get anything? Not a good suck here at the moment. Only a $2 worth value at this point in time, and it's just not enough here for Dean Verrill to get onto the back of the other Dean. And Husey is just promoting himself further and further up the grid, Chris. I said this guy was quick. He had it already, and Dave Thornton did cop a penalty, a drive-through penalty for that contact, as we saw a pit manoeuvre between himself and the egg cracker himself there in Igmanis, and he's slipped himself down to 15th place. That could have the asterisks all sorted now by the end of it. And Scowen, the only bloke with the best name in the house, in Zach, is dead set in the top 10, and he's got an angry battle of cars behind him between Banachek and James Bullock. Howee.
Yeah, look at this. Nice little four-car battle here. Banachek at the front with Bullock, Goff and Nielsen all in tow. We're going to ride on board with Nielsen and just have a look at this magnificent view he's got in the background. Jesus Christ, it's all happening here in the Munro household. The kids have stormed into the commentary box, and it's all happening. I'm going to have to mute myself and take it over.
Absolutely. Look at this battle here. Nielsen having a good crack here at the back of Goff at this point in time. Wowee. Nielsen is dead set, having a fantastic drive here. And I'll tell you what, those three AU Falcons are dead set neck and neck on pace here for the time being. Wowee by Jingos. Look at this braking, trying to brake check Fernando Alonso style here at the moment. Here's Goff. I'll tell you what, the old artist himself has got all his tricks up the sleeve. You name it. Big brushes, small brushes, water-based acrylic-based paint, and he's dead set, taking it all the way there over Alan Nielsen. Is just galloping off into the front straightaway there. And I'll tell you what, Goff has now, what's happened? Oh, no, Dean Hanley's come a proper, looking at two screens here at the moment, dead set in the fair dinkum department. Ray Rabs Roland would be absolutely having a crowbar moment here. I'll tell you what, he's lucky he's not in the commentary box, and Hanley's going to have to come back onto the track in 14th place. The battle of the Deans came to fruition, and I'm not sure what happened, whether it was that lap car sitting off in the bunda there looking like an absolute guilty 6-year-old as they lie to you about what they ate for dinner.
Yeah, very guilty look on the front of that car for sure. But poor old Hanley hitting the wall with a fair bit of force there as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of damage just under the hood of that AU Falcon. So he's only got this lap and the next one to get that car home. But that couldn't have come at a worse time for Hanley. So he will start from, where is he? 15th at least. Depending on who can make their way up behind him in the closing couple of laps of this race. But, you can see he's just having a real hard time just hanging on to that car at the moment. He must have some big damage on the inside there with that's a very dodgy rejoin there in front of his teammate there, Andre Elliott. I'm sure they're on the comms together going, geez, that was a bit dodgy there, Champo, but we'll sort it out with a beer after the race. But yeah, look at Dean Hanley, can barely keep the car on the road, gets it off and lets these guys go through. Oh, it's all happening here, ladies and gentlemen. There's plenty of heartbreak stories in this opening stanza of the 90s, or the classic V8 Supercars series here at AK Racing.
Yeah, dead set. It's all cracking on, and look at this battle here. The Spewing is getting further up the grid from 20th now into 17th place, making his way in that VS Commodore, all blacked out. Fabian Fitness style. Where is Fabian Fitness? I thought he was involved in this, but he's not here. It's all in sundry here for the rest of him, and he's just doing that late apex, which gives him that whole shot, that slingshot out the other side of turn 2, and beautiful stuff there. Another drive-through here for cutting for the basketball himself. I'll tell you what, he's copping it left, right, and centre, but Zach Scowen is dead set on the back here of Higginson. These two are having an absolutely fantastic rip-snorting battle here for all of them as well. And then a drive-through for speeding for the basketball. Wow, mate, stop trying to go from downtown, but here comes Scowen. He's looking all over the back here of the AU Falcon there of Higginson. Higginson driving very, very well in Chris's favourite livery. Send up the inside. He's absolutely stuffed it up and lets everyone else take a position or 3 or 4. Oh, goodness gracious. Eat your heart out there. I'll tell you what, poor old Higginson's gone from 8th down to 14th in a lap there. That was all Scowen's fault. And my jingos, that is a checkered flag. And what a drive there from Brian's cousin. He is $10 million richer right now, is Brian's cousin. That is a paycheck and a half there. Lachlan Grant's come through 6 seconds away. Was Jason McFadden from any threat. What a drive there from him. Buttigieg in 3rd place. Good cracking drive from him. And Hughesy nearly got the suck down the front straightaway. Only not even 2/10 of a second there between the two of them by the time the checkered flag was laid. Pierzo in 5th. Verrill in 6th. The old HMAS Titanic himself in 7th place. Bernardo Rama in 8th. Sandra's Love Child in 9th. And the artist inside the top 10 with Dave Thornton coming back from 15th after that drive-through penalty in 11th place. What a cracking end to the race here that we saw there. Oh, tears, trials, tribulations, you name it, Christopher. It had everything.
Yeah, we saw it all there in just the space of 13 laps. But Nielsen comes across the line in 12th position with Nathan Higginson getting a little bit unfortunate there with that move from Zach Scowen there, who I think ended up redressing that. He did. So he goes back to 14th position. Ryan Nielsen there in 15th has the bragging rights over the other Nielsen. Actually, no, where did the other Nielsen come? He's been beaten by his brother there up in 12th position. Spewing Ewing gets what he can out of the remaining laps of that race up into 16th, Curtis O'Manus. You saw it all here, ladies and gentlemen, live on Sensational TV. Couldn't have gone worse, but he dead set showed some very good signs for what's to come for at least the rest of this round and the rest of this series. So one to look out for in any case is Curtis Egmanis down there in 17th position. Dean Hanley, another hard luck story down there in 18th position with the chef down there cooking his chicken nuggets down there in 19th with Elliott. Another hard luck story. He was off the front row, ladies and gentlemen. Couldn't have gone worse for him with the windscreen and the clerk out there doing his banking there in 22nd position. Ryan Snooks, the man who's in charge of this series, down there in 23rd position with William Bullock, James Peterson in 25th, Linkvist and Braden Moore rounding out your top 27 in the server tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What a cracking start. It was so clean in the first opening laps, and then I think just the red mist started to descend, Zach O'Reilly, and we saw a few little awkward moments.
Little awkward moments, and you expect it in the first ever series here of competitive racing. 29 cars on the grid here for the classic V8 Supercars here at AK Racing. But what a grid it looks like. Look at all of these liveries. You just cannot fault any single one of them. It's just absolutely fantastic to see, and they all look sensational on track. And speaking of sensational, guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. We would very, very much appreciate it here at Sensational TV. The road to 700 is oh so close here, and we're trying to get to 1,000 by the end. Let's say end of financial year in 2025. So get your friends, family, everyone on board there. It's all going to support us and pay off our absolutely 28% interest rate on our credit cards for the new PCs that we have got at this point in time through YouTube, paying us $1 every 1,000 views. If you want to know how much it is, it's $1 every 1,000 views. So chicken nuggets and 2-minute noodles coming our way. But look at those Sensational TV vans on track, looking as prime as ever. What a race. Christopher, I enjoyed every single moment of that. CRANIUM cam's going absolutely nuts as well. Get on board with that, ladies and gentlemen, too. All the onboards, actions, left, right, centre, upside down for some cars if you are unlucky. But race 2 is coming our way. We got another 13-lapper here at Eastern Creek coming your way here. So get those condiments refilled, get the Canara fired up. Whether you are in the States, get the aircon done as well, too, because it's pretty hot some states at the moment today. And we'll be back here at Sensational TV for race 2 in just a few moments.
Back on track, ladies and gentlemen. We got more racing coming at you now with 2 minutes to go here on the clock. We're still missing Verrill. Nope, there he goes. Straight into the server as we say his name. We got the choppers circulating there on track. They all want to get a piece of the action here at Eastern Creek because I tell you what, the action has been a plenty. It's been a fantastic start to this series with, as you can see, a full grid of classic V8 Supercars and a fair bit of action and some pretty good driving as well to boot. So it's all happening here on AK Racing's V8 Supercars Championship here in the off-season. It's times like these when you miss having a rig out there, Zach O'Reilly.
It's times like these you miss having a rig. Yeah, it is, Chris.
Oh,
and a bit of, I can't remember. Is it Powderfinger? I can't remember. Or is that?
That's the
no,
Fooey's,
I'm joking.
I think.
I'm joking. I know who it is.
Okay.
And it is a dead set cracking grid there, ladies and gentlemen. CRANIUM cam is up too. We are going to be riding on board from our third placed driver here at this point in time. And I'll tell you what, fourth place, sorry, Buttigieg will be there. So get on board with that. Remember to send your request through here in the live chat on the main AK Racing, and I will get on there for you shortly. 1 minute and 8 seconds left till the countdown. That is your grid there, ladies and gentlemen. McFadden, Grant, Buttigieg, Hughes are your top 4 drivers. Pierce, Verrill Shipley, Bernardarama, James Bullock and Clint Goff round out your top 10 with poor old Dave Thornton copying a drive-through after that mishap there in 11th place. Nielsen, Higginson, Scowen, Nielsen spewing the egg cracker himself, Dean Hanley, the chef, Andre Elliott, O'Brien, Clerk, Snooks, Bullock, Pedersen, Lindquist, as Christopher Munro says, and Braden Moore's joined the rig as well to round out 28 cars here for a Sunday night here at Eastern Creek Raceway. Wowee. And what a grid it looks like, Christopher Munro. This is going to be exciting. 13 laps coming our way here, Chris. What do you think?
Absolutely marvellous. I reckon these guys are going to be turning up the heat just a little bit more. I think what we saw in the closing stages of that first race, I feel like they're going to just get straight stuck in here, especially with a few of these drivers just being a little bit out of position down the order there on terms of pace. But we'll keep an eye on them because we are just about ready for a start here in race 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great and even start from all the top 3, but it looks like Buttigieg just missing a shift there, and that invites Brandon Pearce up the inside. He will make it 3 wide into turn 1, but just dives up into third position. Very nicely done. Poor old Dean Verrill's just giving Hughes a bit of a hurry up there. But there goes McFadden up the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact there as well with Grant. Sorry, that's Grant being giving contact to McFadden for the lead of the race. He redresses it quickly, though, and maintains second position. Very nicely done. But Brandon Pearce is right up the back of him, dives up the inside here, and, just gets on the brakes in time before he takes them all out. But Buttigieg just waiting for some of those crumbs to fall off the table, like a willing bloody Labrador. Just give me something. And he will take a sniff of any of that. Don't you worry about that. Brandon Pearce just covering off on the inside there, positioning his car very nicely to stop any sort of attacks from behind. It's all happening here with Thornton and Bullock battling side by side around this little kick to the left. Geez, that was close at B-stick in it by the sounds of it there. My co-commentator getting right involved. There goes McManus, I think. Is it? Oh no, it's Clinton Goff up the inside there in the white AU Falcon. It's all been a very clean start as well this time. Great showing by these classic V8 supercar drivers here in the server. No ABS, no traction control here, boys and girls. It is all pure driving skill, and I tell you what, we're seeing plenty of it today.
Yeah, dead set. It's absolutely fantastic. And have a look at Buttigieg driving the wheels off that Holden at this point in time, trying to get back up into third place. 3 tenths away there from Brandon Pearce. The battle of attrition will come to fruition here at the moment. Jesus, should be a wrapper. I've just deliberately not done that.
Very nice.
Thornton in 8th. Look at that, from 12th all the way down into 8th already. And fantastic driving. He's going to have a look at Bananarama there. Oh, look at that. That was as close as you'd want to ever be. I'll tell you what. That was definitely a bee's foreskin between the two of them. That was sensational car control from Thornton there. The Cranium's Cam himself is dead set on fire here with Thornton's right on board with that too, because we can see here him having a look at the Banachek. Banachek's gone side by side here, 2 by 2, Noah's Ark style, around turn 4. Here we go into turn 5. Can we get it all job done? It can get it nicely and cleanly. Banachek been very, very cautious. Thornton popped a track cut there outside the yellow lines, not giving an absolute millimetre here. VS versus EL. Look out, Orcon. Here we go versus Racehouse at this point in time. Thornton's going to have a dead set crack at him, trying to come around the left-hander in 4th gear. Can't get the job done at the moment. Is he going to have a look up the inside here? He's just sent it a little bit harder under brakes. Banachek's none the wiser. Blocks that traffic off there and says, thank you, I'll take that position and keep it. Mind you, here comes at the back there. I'll tell you what, James Bullock is coming through and inviting himself onto this three-way battle here. Thorne's going to have to look in the front and rear vision mirrors here. Can Banachek keep it all together and not get his banana skinned here by the Thornton behind him? I'll tell you what, this could be interesting stuff. Have a look at that through the rear vision camera, through the roll cages there, and there is going to be a little bit of a suckage here. Eastern Creek ladies in the crowd there to go past the grandstand, getting all the tips they could possibly get as we ground into turn 1, and Thornton and Banachek resumes here for another lap. Wowee, this is some hairy stuff here. Oh, the map of Tasmania has nearly come out there for Thornton. He's just sent it down the inside, put it in and said, thank you very much, mother for the rabbits, no lube needed, and taken Banachek straight out of P7 into P8. Now Banachek's going to have to be very, very cautious because Sandra's love child behind him, dead set, will be all over him like a crab to a $2 hooker.
Great lesson in defensive driving there from Banachek, just to hold off Thornton for the best part of 2 laps there. Fantastic covering work, and knew exactly where his car was at all times on the positional stakes there in this race 2 here. But as you can see, Thornton now released from the battle, and he will just try and tack onto the back of Dean Verrill. You can see just in the very far distance now. That's 2.5 seconds up the road for him, but that gives Thornton a fair bit of clear air, and that's what he likes to have, ladies and gents. These guys that are quick can put together qualifying laps when they get the chance, and that's all they need. There's a little bit of free air in front, and he'll be on the qualifying laps. Don't you worry about that. Jason McFadden still in the lead of this race. What a fantastic start to this season for him. Lockie Grant just in tow, a little bit outside the suck area here in Western Sydney, the cheapest suck in the country. Don't you worry about that. I've seen the quality of we'll get off that subject as quickly as possible here before 8:30 on a Sunday night. Jake Buttigieg giving Brandon Pearce something to think about, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, definitely. Don't worry about the 8:30, Chris. We can get away with it here. We are that good that YouTube want us on the stream, getting their viewer count up, part of the partnership program. But Buttigieg now is handing the back here of Pearso. This is nothing between the two of them. Look at that. Nearly a bumper and a half sitting between the both of them, front versus rear. Pearso just taking the early entry and the shallow braking marker there just to get a bit of a run here on the exit. And look out, Buttigieg is generally trying to get everything he possibly can in the trick book done, but he can't get it on Pearso. Pearso has been a rate of attrition kind of guy, knows when to defend and when not to defend too. I tell you what, his magic tricks sometimes work against him, but he's done very well there in the defense department. Looking out, he's just overshot that hairpin, and that's going to leave him vulnerable here, but he's going to be on the advantageous line there, coming into the final two corners here of Eastern Creek, and Buttigieg's just slotted in right behind him, so don't stress about that. Cranium cam's going off here between Buttigieg and Pearso too. You can see the first person view of Buttigieg here driving the wheels off that VX Commodore at the moment versus the EL Falcon, and Pearso's got an absolutely rip-snorting run there onto the front straightaway, just gapped in there by 3 or 4 tenths out of the suck range, and looking to make sure that he can keep this gap here, being in third place at the moment. He's used to being in third, is Pearso. Can he hold it off? Oh, he's run a bit wide here too. Oh, that's not going to be good. This is going to invite Buttigieg straight up the inside. Thank you very much. He says, I'll take that position off you. And third place is gone. We reverse commentator curse Pearso there, but Pierce is not letting go of that too easily. Side by side here, Chopper Cam giving us the best look. Pierce slots in right behind, and here comes Husey right as we speak too. These guys are not giving each other 1 millimetre between quarter panels there and front bumpers and front guards. Wowee, breaking to the millimetre perfect mark there was Pearso, but Buttigieg survives at this point in time, and here comes Nathan Hughes inviting himself onto this party as well. We'll get on board with him and see what he can do. Pearso just braking a bit early. That gives Husey a bit of something to shit himself about, and now he's going to be underhanding here from Dean Farrell behind. The Farrell man is sticking his nose right where we don't want to see it, or where his missus wants to see it as well, right down the bottom here at the bottom of Eastern Creek. Hairpins in, point it, turn it, exit, get on the throttle early as possibly can. Make sure you maximise the oversteer slip angle here, and he's going to get some sort of run if he can get another beautiful exit coming out of the final two corners here at Eastern Creek. Here's Dean Farrell just sticking it nice and consistent, and pace-wise, he's looking very, very nice. Is the Farrell man too, and it's all happening behind him. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, nice little battle pack forming here. 5 cars deep. As who is it? Buttigieg just at the front of the queue. Had his little bit of a tussle there with Brandon Pierce earlier on a couple of laps ago. Now he's been released, and he's just starting to turn the screws slowly on that gap, building it ever so slightly each time around. Yes, Fabian Fitness says Falzon put some money in Super Chat. I agree with that, mate. And anyone else watching, follow that lead as well. Chuck us a few dollars.
Thank you, Falzon.
For our times. Yeah, Falzon. Thank you, Fitness, for getting involved. He certainly does all the time. I wonder how many pints he's had tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Get
Love Child.
Get Super Chats in, but Bullock's off the street here. He's just trying to flick spin it around. Very poorly done now, because he's going to have to wait, because there's about 3 or 4 cars all nice and evenly done, but he gets it on the track very nicely done there. That's Jesse Marshall up the inside. He'll take that free position all day. Ron will be cheering in the chat for his son to get that one, but just missing the apex by about a country mile there. Zach Scowen having a bit of a drama down here at turn 5.
Oh, he's out. He's completely stalled it. Poor old Zach is just sitting there like a sitting duck at the moment, just getting back onto the track safely, and rejoins very, very nicely. Well done to him. That was some very, very good situational awareness there. And Nielsen's been promoted up into 19th after all that. Right behind Sandra's Lovechild too. I'll tell you what, he'd be rattled at the moment with Sandra's Lovechild in James Bullock. The guy, the myth, the legend in the Wednesday Cup is just not getting a hand. Oh, he's just been punted there by Nielsen too. Just gave him a bit of a rear ender there and said, I'm coming for you. AU versus AU. This is all one like Donkey Kong. Pertec versus the green-eyed monster here. Look what can happen if you get on a bad end of some sort of driving mishap, and you just rattle yourself mentally. You really, really do, and it just takes about a lap and a half just to get back on song at the moment. And right behind is the HMAS himself, the Titanic Shipley. He's got a beautiful run there on Nielsen, just straight down the inside. Thank you. Look at that. Looks like he's standing still there. Was Alan Nielsen compared to Shipley. Wowee. What a drive there off the final corner for Shipley. He's got that that pointed in nicely. He's going to apex it late and get out. And also, Fabian Fitness, thank you very much for that chat. And tell you what, he's given some encouragement there to Ron Marshall. I reckon Ron Marshall's overdue. But anyway, looks out. Thank you very much, Fabian Fitness. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, thank you guys for the support. It's all happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Here goes. Who's that? Elliot up the inside. That's a lapped car. That's a lapped Rangiard car. I don't know who that is exactly. Must be.
That is a chef.
Yeah, it must be the chef. Poor old Cook. He did get a drive-through off the start. Something happened to him, ladies and gentlemen. But looking back through the field, what's happened to Egg Manus down there in 23rd position, 14 seconds off Zach Scowen there in 20 seconds. So that's something's happened to him off the start. Let's see what I can do, boys. Oh no, Nielsen's just give Shipley a whack into turn 7. That's no good.
No good whatsoever. Not what you want to see. Poor old Alan Nielsen there. I'm pretty sure it was just dead set giving him the old pit maneuver, high patrol style. Yep. And not the ideal way to give someone a position disadvantage. There is Alan Nielsen. Very hot under the collars, 2 other Nielsen brothers. Good racers, but when it comes to all of that, it's all on like Donkey Kong. And I'll tell you what, the windscreen, we haven't called him much, and here he goes. Oh, geez, that is hairy stuff there between himself and the artist. Wowee, that is sensational car control from all of them, and here we go. It's all happening here, the windscreen versus the artist versus Alias Lovechild as well. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Around the outside goes the Goff, and there goes O'Brien. The windscreen's been punted off. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Not what you want to see. He's dead set, got some cracks in his bumhole at the moment and the cranium. Nothing in the windscreen department. But Andre Elliott has just signaled his way through the field again. The Rangiard man off second place in race 1, finding himself in P2, and he's going to try and get onto the back of the artist there. Look out. I don't know if that was nefarious or not.
No, I think just things got a little bit too close for comfort there. You can, there you go, Ron Marshall, super chatting 10. He just upped you, Fabian Fitness, by about $7. So you're going to have to return serve on him there to take the win of the most donated super chats for the evening. So cop that, Fabian. We'll see you on the next one. But this little battle pack here, little four car here, we've got Elliott, we've got Goff, we've got Marshall in tow with James Bullock as well. So we're right on board with Bullock because he gets to look at all these, all the bums of these sexy little cars here from the yesteryear of V8 Supercars. In the meantime, Mick Patton still leads this race. He's eked out about a 7:10 lead to Lachlan Grant there. With Jake Buttigieg up there in the 3rd position, Brandon Pierce in 4th, David Taunton's found his way up to 5th position, starting from 12th. What an absolutely cracking drive there from him. But here goes Marshall up the inside of Goffy, gets it pulled up, but leaves the door open. Here goes Goff straight up the inside with the switchback. They're going to go side by side, still a bit of an overlap, but Jesse's just got to keep that car under control. Goff searching for a way around. Oh, look how close they are, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen. Here goes Goff, thinks about going down the inside, does just pull out of it, and probably a wise idea, but I'll tell you what, his rear view mirror is full of green-eyed Falcon, and that is James Bullock just searching for a way through on both of these guys. Here goes Jesse going defensive. I don't know if he needed to do that, but he's invited Goff around the outside. These two now side by side up the hill for the 9th time, ladies and gentlemen. 4 laps to go here. He will have the inside run here for the little hairpin right-hander. So this could be the job done here for Clint Goff. All he's got to do is just keep composed, get on the throttle when he knows he has to, and looks like he's got that job done. But Jesse Marshall returning serve around the outside, side by side down here into the 3rd sector. Jesse just having a little bit of a wobble on the inside now. Oh, is he going to keep it on the track?
Whoa.
Certainly does not. Very dangerous stuff. But Goff has the inside line again. Poor old Bullock's watching all this happen and goes, geez, he doesn't want to pull alongside any of these blokes because they don't know if they can keep it on the road. But Clint Goff gets up to 15th position. Thank you very much.
Oh, dead set, there is a suckage battle, and Jesse Marshall on board Cranium Cam at the moment, looking very racy here, and he's got James Bullock behind him, hounding him left, right and centre too. Only about 5 a second behind him between himself and Bullock, but Goff at the moment. Oh, he sent it up the inside. Very, very risky stuff. Didn't manage to make contact between each other, but now Bullock's there as well. He's going to invite himself in on this competition too. Jesse Marshall in the freight line of VX Commodore has just come a proper and lost all the advantages he had there between himself and Goff. But now he's gone defensive there on Bullock. Bullock's having a good crack down the inside. Oh, Marshall's overshot the corner, and that is going to invite Bullock up the inside. Will Bullock is the next place in line as well between his brother there and Bullock. And look at that for a whole shot too, ladies and gentlemen. Bang! Thank you very much. And Bullock is going to take 16th place there off Jesse Marshall. Jesse Marshall's just going to have to concede. Is he going to get the whole shot? No, he doesn't. Poor old Jesse Marshall's lost one position there over and breaking himself into the left-hander down the hill, nearly yeeting himself into the barracks. And I'll tell you what, look at that for a cracking driving battle between the two of them. Fantastic driving from all in sundry. That's how you go racing. No contact, just full-on facial awareness and cranium awareness too in the driver department. And that's how you take a position there off poor old Jesse Marshall. But his father there is cheering him on in the chat. Cut it warnings, no doubt in his mind in Jesse Marshall at the moment. They both took one there for Bullock and Marshall on that final corner. Now he's got no advantage there. But I'll tell you what, Thornton, geez Louise, he is right up the arse end here of Pearso. Jump on board with the cranium cam. Look at the view here at the Bonner cam as well. Wowee, no Larry bars there in the Falcons there. That's for sure, because Larry Perkins was V8 holding aficionado. Oh, inside goes David Thornton. Is he going to take that position off Brandon Pierce? Brandon Pierce surely has got the whole shot. No, he doesn't. Wowee. Brandon Pierce has just got done around the outside for now at the moment between himself and Thornton. Racing room perfectly executed there by the both of them. Pierce's gone wide and overshot and overdone himself. And Thornton's just going to gallop through and say, thank you very much, mother, for the rabbits. I'll take P4 off you. And advantage Thornton over Brandon Pierce. Wowee. That was some sensational driving there from Thornton. Just pressured Pierce into a false dummy move. And now Thornton's on the hunt. 3.9 seconds with 2 laps to go. I don't think he's going to get there for a podium over Buttigieg. But that is how you drive, ladies and gentlemen. Pierce now off into the bunda. Oh, she lost it too. As he full tank slapped him. No, he saved it. Thank goodness gracious me. Wowee. That somehow saved it. Excellent car control. But I'll tell you what, Grant has been coming at a rate of knots, Christopher. 3/10 of a second now. It was 9/10 2 laps ago, and now it is only 3/10 between himself and Brian's cousin here for P1. 1 lap left in this race. Wowee, this is heating up to be one exciting battle.
Yeah, what a cracking drive from David Thornton, by the way. Made his way up from 12th position after a bit of adversity and maybe a little bit of awkwardness there in race 1 to find himself down so far in the order. But I'll tell you what, some great overtaking and great driving. Got himself up to 4th position, but the battle for the lead is on. I suspect it was just a little bit of a mistake there from Jason McFadden to fall back into the lap of Lockie Grant, but now he's got a bigger issue because the end of the race is nigh, and Lockie Grant has smelled a bit of blood in the water, and look at the gap now. It's just hanging around that 2 or 3/10 mark, and he can see the whites of Jason McFadden's eyes in the mirrors in front. That's for sure. He'll be keeping one eye in the rearview mirror. Is Jason McFadden just watching this VX Commodore of Lockie Grant, just seeing where he's strong, where he's fast, where he's quick, where he's slow, where he can take advantage. And I tell you what, Jason McFadden very nicely done out of the final turn, and that's probably the most important turn on the track at the moment too. Just make sure you have that nailed, as a very popular overtaking spot is into turn 1 and or turn 2. So if you can just break that toe down the front straight, you're doing yourself a massive favour for the rest of the lap. This is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen, of race 2. McFadden leads with Lockie Grant just sort of losing touch a little bit now. That gap out to about 4.5 as we speak, so that he can see the finish line. He can smell the finish line as Jason McFadden. Can he get there though? That's another story.
Now, dead set, this is a battle for the ages here. Lachlan Grant, VX versus AU, both on the same parity lines. Oh, Lachlan Grant's just gone wide there. Bit of a track cut here. Hopefully he hasn't got 5 out of 5 at the moment. That's going to give him something to think about. But McFadden has driven absolutely beautifully here. Just cemented himself in P1. And for race 1 as well, he's got the job done there too. So can he get the chockies here for race 2? Wowee, there is a lap marker getting out of the way nicely there. Very, very nice. Vinquist has got a drive-through for speeding. So that is all done and dusted. But Lachlan Grant has not got any answers here for Jason McFadden. Jason McFadden here is going to round the final couple of corners if he can stick it together. Wowee, what a dead set drive here from Brian's cousin. Another $10 million in the bank coming McFadden's way. $20 million in the green. He only has to DNF the next race to be in the red at the end of it. Wowee, and over the line. Here we go. Jason McFadden take a bow. 2 out of 2 for the inaugural series here at V8 Supercars for the classic V8s we've seen here. And Lachlan Grant's going to get that job done in second place. Buttigieg in third. Thornton in fourth. What a drive from 12th place for Thornton. Brandon Pierce, trials and tribulations for him in fifth. Dean Verrill, sixth place. Cracking stuff from him too. That was very, very nicely done. Banachek's about to cross the line now. Done.
Great result for me.
7th place for him. Absolutely sensational for Banachek. Loving it as Chris Munro just absolutely pulling himself in the background there of Bananarama. Nathan Hughes in 8th. Luke Newing in 9th. And Dean Hanley rounds out your top 10. What a race from every single car. And look at the gaps there between 8th to 10th. Not even 6 or 7 tenths between the two of them. Everyone else crosses the line. Nielsen, Elliott, Clerk, Higginson, Goff, Bullock, Marshall, Shipley, the other Bullock as well. Nielsen, Scowen, and our 2 lap markers there in Moore and Lindquist in 25th and 6th position respectively. Scowen, Igmanis, poor old Igmanis. Wow, he's definitely fallen off the edge there and cracked a couple of yokes as that. The windscreen in 23rd, and Snooksy, the man, the myth, the legend, rounding the final turn here for the time here. The man, the myth, the 90s V8 aficionado coming across the line here to finish off the race.
Yeah, what a cracking finish there. Great stuff. Very clean as well. A few little incidents along the way, but that's what you get out here in sim racing land. But, I mean, for the grand scheme of things, very clean and very mean. Great racing, great action as well. And I tell you what, great driving from this guy on screen. Jason McFadden makes it 2 out of 2. What a statement to start this series as well. Bang, bang, he says. Who's going to beat him in the third race? Tell you what, David Thornton probably chances his arm at this. He's made up a number of positions to get to 4th place. Where did Luke Newing start? Because he made his way up to 9th as well. That was a cracking effort from him to
he was
to
in
get
20th
up.
at one stage.
Yeah, he's made up at least 10 positions there. So keep an eye on the Spewmeister, because he's making a statement out here tonight after a very bit of or a tad bit of bad luck. I don't know. Can you attribute a false start to bad luck? I don't know. I think that's just self-inflicted. But that's another story indeed, as all these cars come filing in to the pit lane to finish race 2. What do we got next? We got one more race, don't we, Zach O'Reilly?
We do. We've got another 13 lapper coming our way. Wherever everyone finished tonight in race 2 is where they will start for the final event here for the inaugural opening round here at the 90s Classic V8 Supercars Racing here at AK Racing, here at Sensational TV, broadcast by yourself and Christopher Munro. What legends in the chat there. Fabian Fitness just given another $7.99, $8. He's equaled Ron Marshall now, I think, on the grand scheme of things. So a bit of a bidding war there in the chat, but all in sundry, absolutely fantastic racing from everyone involved there. So far, let's not commentator curse it at the moment. I'll tell you what, there is Samuel L. Jackson next to the man, myth, the legend. Christopher, take over, me old son.
Yeah, I think that'll do it here. Where have I found myself? Up in the corporate box here at Sydney Motorsport Park, or should I say Eastern Creek. All these guys very busy on their phones doing business deals and other things. There's Tom Cruise as well. Who's that? Matt Damon there with the sunnies on. Very good to see the stars out. Well, I'll tell you what, we're like a couple of astronauts here just hanging with the stars. Here goes Ron Marshall, hits the lead in the donation stakes as well. Cop that, Fabian. Will you reply? We'll see how the wallet goes. But it's ready for race 3. It's the final race of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gearhead says, how could you be on your phone with these cars? Yeah, absolutely. The action is all out on track, not on TikTok, ladies and gents. So keep that in mind, and go and refill your drinks, because it's almost time for race 3. Let's have a little break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with all the action. And we are back on track, ladies and gentlemen, for race 3. Down here at Eastern Creek, this was round 1 of the Classic V8 Supercars series here on AK Racing. I'll try not to be. Been instructed by the boss, I can't be loud. Sorry, little mate.
Dead set.
Oh, look out.
We are in the commentary box here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'll tell you what, if there's anything you don't want to be, it is quiet. Here at Sensational TV, I am your host for tonight, Reginald Webbs Warren, and Christopher Munro. The Dead Set, what a spectacle we have seen here tonight, and I'll tell you, this is some of the best racing I have seen. Takes me back to when I was in my mid-60s myself, and watching all of these V8 supercars drive around, and the lights are up, and we are ready to go. Take it away, me old son. I'll be back.
Let's go for race 3. How are we going to go off the start? It's a super even start. No one's really made any head ground except for Brandon Pierce. Look at this. What a fantastic start. He's going to try and split the seas up the inside there of, that's Thornton on his outside. They're going to go side by side up into turn 2. Who's going to get the better of it in the braking department? It looks like Thornton goes a bit deep, bit of a saw, very deep. The seas have opened there for Pearso. Can he get it up the inside of Buttigieg? He tries, but just was on the wrong side of the track there. A few little marbles to deal with, but a great drive out of turn 3 as well, but just nowhere to go because the VX Commodore of Buttigieg was just in the way, and you can't drive through him, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to go around somehow. But fantastic little battle happening here, but we're going to just pause the cam and see the rest of the field go streaming through here at turn 5. Who's going to go wide? Everyone keeping it nice and mean and clean. There's a few cars going side by side there. One just covering him off as well. Very good stuff. It looks like Dean Verrill getting hounded on the back here by Spewing Newing, who's made up 2 positions off the start already, and already teeing up his 3rd here for this opening lap, this opening stanza, as the man of the myth, the legend himself would say, Raps Warren. Jason McFadden still leads this race. He's no stranger to that in the last couple of races. Has spent most of his time out front with no one to challenge him. Lockie Grant's trying to take the best of that in this opening little sparring session of this 3rd race tonight. And a little gap between Buttigieg and Pierce and Thornton, just watching these top 4 just sort themselves out for this opening lap.
Well, I'll tell you what, fair man, apart from taking my own personal dead one-liners, the Dead Set, the racing has been absolutely fantastic here. And you can see the pressure being put on here from the Bananarama in the front there, as we see all these beautiful AUEL, VX, and VS Commodores go through here on every single lap that we can see. I'll tell you what, this is some fantastic racing here, and I'll tell you, when it comes to some sort of tuffle or skirmish, gives me absolutely nostalgia here from all of those State of Origins that I have called. I don't care how many you say, all of the 99 that I have called come nothing close here to all of the racing here. Kurt, the egg himself, as Zach O'Reilly would say, Dead Set turned it up. He's got to get himself somewhere up where his performance on track. Dead Set gives him some leniency because he has been absolutely punctured and crowbarred from every single position in this event tonight. And when it comes to all the 4X golds that I have imported down here to Sydney, these guys, Dead Set, can take some tips from me. It cannot be won on the 1st or the 15th lap here, even though they don't exist here at the 90 Supercars. And the curtain of Dead Set, tell you what, coming off dummy half, has got some yards to make up here to get himself inside that top 10.
Yeah, no forward passes here, Raps. It's all racing and motorsport, pedal to the metal, bit of petrol-powered V8 action here. Curtis McManus on the back of James Bullock, and he can see Ryan Nielsen and Busey just getting stuck in to the back of Nathan Higginson, who is just proving to be maybe just a little bit of the cork in the bottle. But these 3 here, it's Bullock, Nielsen and McManus at the back, who are really just getting stuck in now to a bit of a menage a trois, and they certainly put the men in that sentence there. But look at that, very close between Bullock and Nielsen at the moment, but here goes McManus up the inside here at turn 3. He'll get that job done really easily as well. The green-eyed monster giving up the ghost there without any sort of fight. Thank you very much. He's moving his way through the field. Started down in 20th, I believe, having a shocker, but he's making his way through the field very nicely. McFadden still leads with Grant about 8/10 behind him. Jake Buttigieg grounding out your top 3 tonight, but here's the fight up here as well. David Thornton just knocking on the door of Brandon Pierce's EL Falcon.
Well, I'll tell you what, the EL versus EL battle here, dead set gives me some nostalgia. And when it comes to all of the three-peats, the Kiwi man himself from over the other side of the ditch, the Sheepshaggers, dead set having the winning battle here in the Super Chat department. And I've got nothing on my bank account, I'll tell you what, all the squillions and millions of dollars, all of the $15 hookers I can afford now, getting paid out from Channel 9, dead set, fared incomely handsomely, and it's got nothing on the suck here. The ladies of the night here at down at Eastern Creek have got nothing on the Thornton man. He is a blowjob aficionado, not if he gets on the sloppiness, and dead set Pearso will want to be taking a dead set hard look at himself if he gets up another position from race 2. He got all of the brazen bits and the crowbars out, but could not dead set give a whack at the Thornton. Thornton dodging all of those tackles like it. Poor old Paul Sill and the Server dead back in the day. And look at this side-by-side action. Absolutely beef stick material here from the two of them. Well, I'll tell you what, fat man, my vocal cords have dead set got a workout here. Track cuts left, right, and center. And these two, EL versus EL, side by side, you cannot get any better than this. I'll tell you what, 1985 State of Origin, eat your heart out. And here comes the feral man himself, Dean Ferrell, holy cowabunga, in the dead set fielding of the barber. Pearso's outbraked himself, and absolutely Fernando Alonso, David Thornton there. Look at this, for the last furlong here at Sensational TV at Eastern Creek. This is all happening. We have got a 4 and 5 car battle here, heading up Thornton man, just giving a dead set hard battle here to the man himself in David Thornton, and Ferrell having a good crack here. Luke Ewing backing up the pack here. We've got 200 metres to go here down the front straightaway of Eastern Creek. Dummy half, eat your heart out. Number 4, number 17, number 37, whatever you want. And this is a dead set suckage battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the pace differential there on the VS Falcon, Jesus Christ. The VS Commodore there.
Turn it up!
Luke Ewing just dropping off the back of these guys, going 3 wide. Thornton missing his brake marker, taking out, who was that? Farrell. Oh no, absolute disaster for Dean Farrell. Poor old Thornton needs to rethink where he needs to get on the brakes there. That's some absolutely sloppy stuff from the veteran there, David Thornton in the number 16. Jesus Christ, he's seen better days out there on track. But Brandon Pierce now up into 4th position, now being challenged by Luke Ewing, the final 2 in that 4-man battle after we were playing a little bit of bowling. I'll tell you what, we've got a new graphic for that one. There we go. It's a strike. 10 points there for Mr. Thornton. Very funny, isn't it, Rabs? It's a bit of cross-contamination in the sporting world. I'm all for it.
Dead set in the fielding department. The old strikers just come across the field there and given us all of the best graphics you could absolutely dead set imagine for. In the graphics department, there is no better than the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Munro. He is dead set all on point there. Strike action, and I'll tell you what, Mr. Elliott here has got all of the best point of view here. I'll tell you what, porno style point of view here for all of the guys in front of him, Luke Ewing and Brandon Pierce. Dead set having a cracking battle here, nothing between them. Only 1/1000th of a second on the lap time. Up the inside they go together. Wowee, that is a full-on backward pass there from 60 yards out into the tri-zone. And here goes the spewing knowing straight down the inside. I'll tell you what, fat man, that is nearly 2 possessions taken away from Brandon Pierce. The old Andre behind him is dead set having some PTSD veteran style there from anything coming a proper after all of the dead set ringers that he has had in the last couple of races. And I'll tell you what, 3 wide, 2 wide, upside down, you name it, it is all happening here. Pearso going for the inside, and then Andre Elliott behind him following suit. EL versus AU, Falcon versus VS Falcon by Jingo by Craigie. Have a look at all of these liveries, and Elliott's just given up the ghost there and said, I'll have a break, I'll go to the benches and take a break there because everyone else in front of me is dead set not hitting the showers and getting the talcum powder out by now. They're dead set having a good crack, and look at that, Luke Ewing having a dead set turmoil, getting into the hairpin there.
Yeah, cracking stuff here. Poor old Andre Elliott. Just, as you say, Rabs, just giving up the ghost. Just a little bit of an unforced error for him. But Pierce just giving plenty to Luke Newing. Even though he was overtaken by Newing just on that lap, he's trying to return serve as good as Djokovic down there in the 5th set. Look at him right now in the suck zone here in Western Sydney, ladies and gentlemen. That'll cost you about 45 cents. Here he goes, Brandon Pierce around the outside of turn 1. That's not going to happen here at Eastern Creek. I'll give you the hot tip. You're going to have to tuck back on the inside. Stay in that suck until you get down to turn 2, and that's where you want to send it. But Luke Newing very late on the brakes, but manages to get it pulled up as well. Very nice driving there from Luke Newing indeed. It's all happening here as these two continue to battle. That will bring Andre Elliott into this battle to make it a 3-way, and who doesn't enjoy one of those? But we're going to have to turn the clock back to 10th position because there is a 5-way battle heating up here. We've got Ryan Nielsen at the front. We've got McManus behind him. We're on board here with Nathan Hughes. Bullock's just behind him, and Higginson's joined the party as well. So that's about a 5-car battle. As we go to the skies, we can see how close these 3 cars are indeed. Looks like, wow, Nielsen going defensive here into turn 6 or 7. I can't remember which one it is. But all sorts of sideways there from Nathan Hughes. I'll tell you what, if he had that exit sorted out, he might have just put a little bit more pressure on Curtis McManus, who has made his way up to P9, by the way. Started down the back. Oh, almost copped a little bit of a centre punch. Nathan Hughes getting all sorts of sideways, and he's lost it on the curbs. They're slippery, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't just can't go booting the right foot down to the floor. You've got to be very steady with that. And poor old Hughes finding out the hard way there, dropping down to 17th position.
Hughes has been dead set cover drive down the glasses there for 4 runs. He bowled a wide there, then Murphy's love child, and dead set punted himself into the boundary. And I'll tell you what, that is dead set not the way to go about it. But I'll tell you what, the way to go about it is here at the front. McFadden right now, the sheep shagger versus the Aussie Anzac himself. Dead set having a barnstormer here of a battle. I'll tell you what, when it comes to talcum powder being thrown in someone's eyes, I think Lachlan Grant here at the moment will dead set be having a good ripping snorting of a battle here. Maybe sniff some of the talcum powder himself to get inside of every single person. And I'll tell you what, I think at the moment it's time for me to hit the showers, Christopher. I'm going to be back for the next round here at the Wednesday Cup. Don't you worry about it. It has been a cracking time here commentating with you. I'm going to go and revive Zach O'Reilly here after I knocked him out with my own crowbar and get him back in the box as soon as you want.
No worries, Rabs. It was good to have you, and please don't call your penis a crowbar again. Anyway, we're moving back on to the racing after we've been graced by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Ray Rabs Warren, Reginald Warren, as they say. Cricket India Review says, happy spell, Rabs. Thank you. Thank you, Cricket India. Cricket Review India. There you go, a new sub to the channel. Welcome aboard, Mr. CRI. We'll get you down on that. But look at this. McFadden has opened up that gap again to Lockie Grant. So I feel like every time we see these guys close on track, it's a victim or of circumstance of Jason McFadden just making a few little unforced errors and inviting Lachlan Grant back into the battle, as he's done again, as we saw there, just on the exit of turn 1. McFadden just dipping a couple of tyres off that. It certainly it gives Mr. Grant a fair bit of encouragement as well. As you see that when you're chasing down one of these guys, one of the quick guys, when they do make a mistake, you go, oh, well, geez, if he just makes one mistake, that's in his head, then he makes another one, because that age-old saying, as one mistake brings more. And that is certainly true here in the motorsport world, and is certainly true, or at least Lockie Grant is hoping there's a bit more of that happening as well. But as you see, he gets right out sideways. But that gap is still under 3/10. It's on here. He might be looking up the inside here in turn 1. Thinks better of it, pulls out. But Jason McFadden locks those tyres up as well. A fair bit of smoke coming out of the back of that AU Falcon. It looks like a Bob Marley concert at the moment. But now he is right up under the rear wing as we ride on board. We can see how close he is. Zach O'Reilly just coming back into the commentary box as well after his little sleep at the helm of Rabs Warren's crowbar, as he calls it.
Well, I don't know if I'm if it's 9 laps or if it's 19 laps. I've got concussion at the moment, but it looks like Lachlan Grant is dead set having a good battle here between himself and McFadden. Those two are not giving each other a millimetre. I think McFadden just needs to keep his eyes forward and not worry about what Lachlan Grant is doing, because he's going to outbrake himself at some point into a turn. It's going to invite Lachlan Grant up the inside. Not with that sort of behaviour, though. That VX Commodore, full sideways action there at the moment. Wowee. He kept that together very, very well, but this is the rate of attrition, nearly a carbon copy here of race 2 at some point between Grant and McFadden. And I'll tell you what, Pearso is just falling down the field here. He's got Andre Elliott there for company, and Andre Elliott's got the move done on him at this moment. EL versus AU, old versus new Falcon. Wowee, that was some dead set fantastic stuff there, as I can commentate perfectly now that my concussion has some sort of healed to some extent. But I'll tell you what, these guys here at the back are not giving each other an inch. It's happening everywhere here at Sensational TV. Higginson is dead set getting a hurry up there from Bullock. Sandra's love child himself, dead set on the back end. 2 AUs cracking on with the battle here. No difference in the grand scheme of things. I'll tell you what, in the graphical department as well, they're both fantastic looking liveries, just knocking the end at the moment of the rear end there of poor old Higginson. Wowee, Jace Bullock, get your heart out. These guys are not giving each other 1 millimetre. Fantastic driving. And then here comes the Ford Credit Falcon right behind him as 2 AUs. 1, 2, 3. And then you've got a Holden right there too. So this is the rate of whoever can drive the car the best here in the grand scheme of things. The Blue Oval battle is not sold yet.
No, it's still going, and that in the grand scheme of things, the Blue Oval didn't end up winning because Holden is no more. But this is the Simland, ladies and gentlemen, where yesteryear is always a matter of
I'm
fact.
going to debate that.
Because, okay, here we go. Holden is still alive. Zachariah.
No, so Ford pissed off earlier. Australian manufacturing, Ford pissed off in 2015. Holden kept around till 2017, so eat your heart, and no, even beyond 2020, mate. Don't you worry about that. So eat your heart out, get your facts right, mate. Here in the commentary box, I'll give you a clip over the ear. And doesn't matter, because all of these cars here all look fantastic, and this was the peak here of V8 Supercars racing. Doesn't matter what era you were born in, you always look back at the 90s battles, because it was dead set. Arrive and drive, win on Sunday, buy on Monday attitude here from all of these cars. And when it came to the VS Commodore, it was a revelation. Then the VX came out and just said, thank you very much, mother for the rabbits. I'll overdo anything that was a VP, a VR, you name it. They were absolute boats. The VX came out and said, thank you. And that's what we're seeing here. 2 VSs having a crack here. Oh, don't do that, HMAS. I'll tell you what, the Titanic nearly came astern and punted himself up into the iceberg. But Hughes is now having an absolute Barry Crocker, battling for 17th, knowing that he was the fastest in practice. He's going to absolutely trim down his erection size for the night at sitting in 17th at the moment. But he's got the hated Cook in front of him. The chef is cooking up a storm. These 3 cars are having a good battle here at the moment. And I think it's battle on here for Hughesy. With a bit of overrun, flames coming out the back there of the chef himself. And you can see on the number plate there, he's idolised himself. That was fantastic. The Compass has tuned in on the chat too here mid-battle, and it was definitely what we could say. It was the best era of touring cars here, and we've got it back here in 2024. Don't you worry about that. Virtually, this is what it was all about in real life. And the Hughes man, in Merv's love child, trying to go for the inside. The Egg man himself is dead set having a crack. There is a car off the track there in Sundry, not affecting this battle here at the moment. Verrill definitely looking anything but tame at this point in time, just trying to get away from McManus, and he's got that job done. Chris, your old teammate there, definitely getting some sort of welcome and wake up here at AK Racing. This is where you find all the quickest drives, and where else better to watch it than Sensational TV.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. But poor old Thornton's he's found himself down in 23rd position, so he'll be back hopefully next week. He's earned himself a bit of a reputation, ladies and gentlemen, as a what do you call him, a rage quitter. But I'll tell you what, he's shown some ticket tonight, and he's finished off the 3 races in style. So big hand of applause to Mr. Thornton. Hopefully we see him back next week. But look at that, look at the contact there between Shipley and Hughes. Hughes has managed to gather it back up, but goes pretty wide there on the inside. Goes Shipley up into 17th position, Hanley behind him, and that was all she wrote there. But here comes Hughes again on the back of the chef. Gives him a little bit of a punt. into the final couple of turns, pushes him out wide too. That'll cost him a track cut, ladies and gentlemen. It is the final lap of the race. Where is Mr. McFadden coming around? He's still in the first sector, so we'll come back to him if we need. Well, we will do that because there's little battles, sort of fires taking part all up and down the hill here. But I think we should give this bloke a rap because he's about to make it a dead set Kiwi 3-peat.
Well, don't worry about the Kiwi 3-peat. He is definitely chosen all of the right rams and the ewes in the paddock at the moment tonight. 3 out of 3 coming his way. If he can keep it together here, let's not commentator cursing too early. Lachlan Grant's having a good crack at him here. Only 3/10 of a second, 4/10 at the moment between himself, but it's not going to be enough because he's off into the bunda. Jason McFadden just has to keep it together here for the last couple of turns at Eastern Creek. Can Lachlan Grant give any answers to the problem in front of him? No, he can't. McFadden just uses his track cuts to advantage there on the pace department. So do Lachlan Grant. But this is going to be 3 out of 3. Meatloaf, eat your heart out. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but 3 out of 3 is a party. And the McFadden household over in Kiwi land is going to be sheep shagging tonight because he has taken the win off Lachlan Grant. 3 out of 3. All the championship lead you want there. Dead set. That is drive of the day. I can tell you what, absolutely sensational between the two of them. If Lachlan Grant got 1 or 2 out of 3, it would have been dead heat. But Jason has just taken advantage, and the Blue Oval comes out king here at Eastern Creek Raceway. What a dead set, fantastic round of racing. Wowee. That was some sensational driving from McFadden. Eat your heart out, son. He also has a Discord as well, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get involved, the Rangi Art Discord is around and they race in some cracking cars too. This guy makes it all happen, and he's made it happen here tonight here at Sensational TV and at the AK Racing Classic V8 Supercar round opener here for season 1.
Yeah, cracking stuff here in the opening round. A beautiful drive there from Jason McFadden. Absolutely dominant out there in front. Never looked like giving up the goat. It's always one thing to catch the car in front, but it's another thing entirely to overtake. And Lockie Grant just learning that lesson again tonight here. But he'll be happy with that. He got a few second places on the board for him, so he'll be right up there in the championship as well as Butterkit gets another podium as well. So a familiar little podium just starting to happen here for everyone in the top 3. Brandon Pearce in 4th position out of the server already. Lucas Newing in 5th. Dean Farrell up there in 6th position. Strong start to his campaign here with Andre Elliott just on the comeback too as well after the disaster in the first race. Comes back up there into 7th position. Curtis McManus claws back what he could after his disastrous first race. On the recovery there to 8th position. Ryan Nielsen beats out his brother there in 9th position. Well done, and puts it into the fence on stream. Well done, buddy, there. Nathan Higginson makes out your top 10, ladies and gentlemen, in that beautiful green and black AU Falcon. You can't spell beautiful without AU in there, don't you worry about that. James Bullock in 11th in the green-eyed monster with Will Bullock behind him. A brotherly pairing there in 11th and 12th with the Zach Scowen making up your top 13. Rick Banachek dropping down a few places in that final race, but finishing in 14th. Not too bad, but he'll probably want a bit better out of the next time around at I don't even know where the next round is. Should look that up. The Chef in 15th, Nathan Hughes in 16th, Shipley, Hanley, Jesse Marshall, Snooks, Goff, Thornton, Nielsen, Pedersen, O'Brien, and we're going to go back to the pits to find out who came beyond the 25th car there. It is Dion
We have got
Clerk.
Down Clerk. Sorry to take you over there, Chris.
No, you're right.
Mr. Moore in 27th there as well. Vinquist in 28th. The basketball not attending the last race as well. So 28 on a Sunday afternoon in the off-season. Where else do you find it? You find it at AK Racing, and no other better broadcast here at Sensational TV. And the next race that we are at, ladies and gentlemen, is where we were today in real life. We are at Adelaide on December the 1st. So 2 weeks' time from today, we will be at Adelaide, and that is going to be an absolute carnage fest. I can already taste it within my gums at this moment. The tongue taste buds are going off their tits at this point in time. But what a sensational event. Wowee. That was probably one of the best racing in terms of driver etiquette, quality of broadcasting and commentary itself. Spectacles as well, watching all those spectators there on the top of the pit lane there, just enjoying their $450,000 ticket there as well. A massive thank you to all of our donors as well through the stream here too. Thank you, Ronald Marshall. Thank you, Fabian Fitness. Thank you, everyone else. I cannot remember who else was in there as well, but all of you are very much appreciated. Down the steps into the Parc Fermé Excellence Zone, where they would generally have a shitter there sitting on the side, and that is where it is. There it is. There you go. Get involved in that if you need to exercise your bowels. Get on. But what a cracking event that we just witnessed there. Fantastic driving from everyone. And I'll tell you what, they're lining up already here for tickets here at Adelaide in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, and that is going to be a cracking round. A stark contrast to the wide open runoffs here at Eastern Creek. The walls are close. The racing is going to be even closer. Don't you worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. As we've seen this weekend, chaos ensues whenever those walls are close. So we're going to get these guys back out there is it next week or 2 weeks' time? I think
2 weeks.
It is a fortnight from tonight. We're going to be back again in the hot seat. Hang on a second. Look at this. That
What is that?
It's rotating.
Channel 9?
Yeah, Channel 9's got the rotating top of their broadcast van. Well, I'll tell you what,
stuffed.
We're going to have to fix that up in the old Sensational van to rival that. I won't have a bar of that. What sort of car is this anyway? It's not even a Transit. It's a...
I reckon that's a Renault something.
Yeah.
Not even sure. Oh, the way, it's absolutely dead set. Piece of junk, as we would say here. Piece of shit, hunk of junk. Absolute $2 hooker style there in the grand scheme of things. As we cross the top here, I'm shocked that none of the drivers actually got a static electricity shock as those power lines and pylons go over the top. The chopper there, sitting there doing its best. Its day is done. And just hovering there, making sure all the Western Sydney siders don't get into the grounds for free and start stealing people's cars out of the pits at the moment. But what a spectacle that Eastern Creek was. Fantastic driving, fantastic racing, always delivers here at Eastern Creek, that's for sure. Upside down, off camber, on camber, double apex, you name it. That track has got it all, and that is why we love racing here. But the next event will be at Adelaide Street Circuit. The Clipsal 3x50-kilometre event will be coming your way here at Sensational TV. I've had an absolute ball tonight. Ray Rabs Warren dead set knocked me out. I think I'm going to have to go to the triage for a brain scan just to check if I have one left after all of that beating I copped from him. Christopher Munro has always been himself and an excellent broadcaster. All the graphics are done by him as well, and dead set done a sensational job. Thank you to all of our chats tonight, and it's been a pleasure, Christopher, to be with you here in the Combox.
Yep, as always. So join us again next time. I think our next stream will be on Wednesday for round 2. Round 3. Round 3 of the Wednesday Cup Aussie race cars around Macau Street Circuit. So a couple of street circuits coming up here on the broadcast. So that will keep that'll give our voice boxes a bit of a workout. And hopefully your eyes and your action receptors out there in sensational viewing land. But as always, it's been a pleasure. And we will be back again on Wednesday. So I think we'll get the signature sign-off from Zach O'Reilly before we go.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much to all of our donors. Thank you to our subscribers, our viewers, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ryan Snooks, for putting this on as well. Christopher Munro as well. I'm Zach O'Reilly, and guess what? You're not. Christopher Munro always puts the M in magnificent as well. But as for now, it is good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And from us here at Sensational TV, as always, keep it flat out.